Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to one and all. This is the series number 35 of BSI webinars. And to take this session forward, I would like to invite architect Hemant Mistriji. Mr. Hemant, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. Shubh Prabhat, everyone present here. Means a lot to us. Hope everybody has enjoyed Holi with family and friends. Such a relief after the pandemic. We all welcome you on behalf of Bamboo Society of India and Council of Architecture. For the initiative of webinar on rethinking bamboo through design, product design. Well, bamboo is a product by itself. One has to learn the behavior of bamboo before carving it to different products. The nature has its own call, so the product has to be. Today, all will watch and feel how today's speakers will carve bamboo into their visualization world. Now I call upon a host of this session, Professor Idukki, an academician and bamboo enthusiast who is a member of Working Committee of Architecture, Design and Civil Engineering, Bamboo Society of India, will guide us the idea of seminar. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Hemant. A very good morning to you all, friends. It is my duty, bounded duty, being the member of this particular group, ADCE, that is the Working Committee of Bamboo Society of India, one of the working committees of Bamboo Society of India. The headquarters is at Bangalore, and we just saw our secretary cum treasurer, Mr. Ranganath, who welcomed you all. Friends, it is a society almost formed in the year 1989 with very meager number, but then with the nature of duties, the nature of responsibility it has been sharing, the work it has been doing into the bamboo sector over the last so many years, it has become a very prominent society and advisor to even many government organizations, government programs. And because it has now over 1,500 plus members from across the country and even abroad. And these people who are occupying the chairs today at the high chairs, they are all very experienced, talented people who have, almost dedicated their lives in the bamboo sector. Our chairman Punati Sridhar is not present today, but however, the BSI is represented by Mr. Ranganath as the top executive member. And we are one of the working committees. As I told you that this society works in almost all the spheres of bamboo. And that is why it has many committees working today. It is the bamboo cultivation, it is architecture, design and civil engineering, that is our committee. Then there are what are the government schemes and projects into which Bamboo Society of India can extend its assistance and help. There is green technology clubs formed. Then we have skill development and capacity building programs for which there is another committee, and organizing the activities of the chapter and center, chapter development activities. Those are also being handled by certain committee members, and that is how we coordinatedly work so as to ensure that the growth of bamboo in the mainstream design, culture, products, etc. should be seen and visible, and it should be on the rising path. Friends, as I told you that we are a working committee, and in my committee, the coordinator or chief coordinator who has been organizing the various events and activities, and the person behind all these activities is our Madam Neelam Manjunath. Neelam Manjunath needs no introduction as far as the bamboo sector is concerned. She is a versatile designer. We know that she has tried and tested many and experimented bamboo in many of projects. A successful uh, architect dealing into bamboo, working in bamboo, an educator, a guide, a philosopher, a writer, author, an international speaker in many conferences. And such is the dynamic lady we have with us, and we are under that particular team. This is the third of its type since we started, because we have three groups, three rather subgroups in our team. That is, one is architecture, second is the design issues, the design as such, and the third one is civil engineering. So in the first two seminars, we covered the few of the aspects of architecture design, how bamboo is been used intelligently, though it by itself is very versatile, and how do we use that? How do we? What are the different ways and means, different techniques and technologies, styles available we can generate from this particular material that we tried. In the civil engineering section, we saw all the civil engineering experimentations in bamboo so as to use it as a compressive member, tensile members, and even in the different components of the building, how could it be very effectively worked out was discussed. Today is the third of its kind. We say that it is rethinking bamboo in culture through design, and today's topic is the product design. Now there is no need to tell friends that it has been now emerging as one of the very popular products, a popular material. Bamboo itself is a product, a nature's product, a versatilely designed product. So we are using that for our purposes, and we are convinced that because of its very dynamic nature, because of its sustainability qualities, because of its flexibility in working, and now with the advent of so many instrumentation and engineering tools, cutting tools, etc., and processes, bamboo can be really brought into our culture once again as it was in the rural areas, particularly till 70s and 80s. But then the revolutionary material like plastic came into being and the things got changed. However, we are once again convinced that this is such a versatile material which needs energy to grow for its nurture, and it grows fast, it has flexibility, it has different possibilities, types, varieties, and it has been tried and tested by people like Rajeev and Rebeca all over the country. They are the people, they are the master craftsmen, they are the people who have been toiling with bamboo and trying to find out the range of products which could be brought out, and that too very creative products. So friends, we have no doubt remained now that it could be used not only in the building industry or engineering, but the product design could be, and it has been one of the very upcoming streams of career development in the days to come. Many architects, many designers, many craftsmen are motivated by this particular material. And that is why we are discussing it here today. I am sure that this particular work seminar, where we have two very esteemed guests today who are going to speak today to us. One is Rebeca, who is an ambassador in bamboo, so to say, and she has been an ardent teacher and propagating bamboo through her works and through her teachings. So we have Rebeca with a Rajeev is a versatile craftsman. He's a master craftsman, they say, and he's an artist, he's a teacher, and he will also give us a wide exposure as to how this material can be used intellectually, intelligently, and creatively. With these two people, I once again welcome you all, friends. Today we do not have the Mrs. Shri Deshpande. She was to be here, but because of some reason she must not have been present here. But this is the Council of Architecture and BSI, Bamboo Society of India, joint venture through an MOU. We both of the organizations are trying to promote bamboo in almost all sectors of technology, engineering, and product design. With these words, friends, again, I welcome you and now hand over the mic to Hemang for the further necessary proceedings. Thank you very much.
I thank Professor Gadkari for the introduction and sharing his insight on the topic today. So now I call upon Professor Neelam Manjunath, the chairperson of Architecture Design and Civil Engineering, Bamboo Society of India, to introduce the movement towards rethinking bamboo through design, product design, and activities of ADCE and Bamboo Society of India.
Thank you, Hemant. Good morning to everybody, and a very warm welcome to all the people here present. And we thank our chairman, Mr. Puniti Sridhar, to give us this opportunity for the working group on architecture and design to conduct these monthly webinars through which we are able to reach this platform. Bamboo Society of India, I think this is the 35th or 36th webinar that they are doing and spreading the word on bamboo. And we have been doing it on every third Saturday. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity, and thank you, Ranganath, from the executive committee for taking this forward and doing this for us. The topic that we have chosen why this group came into being was that, yeah, because we had people who are there in plantation, there are people in different sectors, marketing and everything. But there's something which is called design thinking. And people think that design thinking is only about designing products or designing a building. But what being in the sector for more than 2 decades, I felt they need to change certain perceptions about design thinking in the bamboo sector itself. And that also involves the processes, how we try to get bamboo to accept bamboo in their lives. And that is something which is advocacy is one way that we just directly tell them, okay, do this or use this because it is eco-friendly. Not many people will use it in that manner. And also many times since our volumes of the product or the buildings are still very low being done with bamboo. So often they are not very cost effective is what people think. It's not so, but people that's what think. And there are other people who have been trying to promote bamboo in a very different manner as a fashionable material, but at a very high premium cost. And this has been really putting bamboo and the designers and people who have tried to put their lives for the sector absolutely on their back foot. Because the people who have genuine interest in promoting bamboo, they are not able to stand that market thing because they don't have the money to advertise themselves and do all those kind of things, which really has been the undoing of very good designers and product designers, artisans, master craftsmen. They're not able to market themselves. And that has been something which is very, and so I thought that through the Bamboo Society of India, which has been, as Professor Gadkari was speaking, a very old organization, and trying to promote bamboo in the sector through design, because we try as designers, we try to do products for daily lives, I would rather say. Living the building, when you do, people live in the building. You design a product, people use it in a daily life. That is what is culture. And that's what get into when the culture comes through a little more maturity, it becomes a civilization. So if we have to really promote bamboo, we have to promote it in their daily life, in the culture itself. We have to introduce it in the culture in a very fine manner, and that's where design thinking has to come into the picture. I'll just give you one small example on this. Is like we are not really doing, and why the word rethinking? People do baskets, people do weaving, but if you see a basket which is there in the villages, and suppose there is a uh, five-star hotel that wants 100 baskets or 1,000 baskets across its chain for a fruit, fruit basket in the room or something like that, and they have some kind of a specifications. I want 10.5 inches dia. Now, if you give that to a craftsman in the village, he is not used to working with jigs in such a manner that he produces the exact product. That's one thing. Another thing which actually comes into the picture is he is never able to cost himself his product, how to cost himself through the whole value addition chain. So what happens if it is, he sells at a very low cost, and he thinks if I have to put so much of time, this might cost me more, not realizing that if he uses those methods, his production might be easier and better in the process. So this may become an undoing if he does not understand the design process and design thinking. So this kind of a connect is required, and that's why I thought about these webinars, that when we tell people, students, people who love bamboo, people who want to use bamboo, about how to really go about doing this, probably we will be able to change the perception of bamboo in our culture. That will increase its demand. It also will get more and more people in the bamboo sector to do or work with bamboo. And that is the purpose for which Bamboo Society of India is there, to promote bamboo in the sector. So that is how this whole thing we had designed. And this is like, as Professor Gadkari was telling, it has got more than 500 users is what has been being told. But now with the advent of technology, I'm sure this must have doubled or even more than that. Today we have, as Professor Gadkari was speaking, two speakers from two ends of the spectrum of design. So the first speaker we have is Rajeev from Windcraft. And believe me, Rajeev, when I'm telling you, and I'm not exaggerating, I think I see you as one of the finest designers right now in the country today. Coming from your background, I think you really are
Thank you, Master.
promising. I really see a very bright future for you. So you have to take the right decisions to move forward. I think you can be really a big sensation. You already a sensation. You can be really a big sensation and a successful person. So Rajeev, he has been mentored by Sushant from NID. He is coming from the bottoms up in the spectrum, which is like from artisan slowly to artist, designer, and he's coming up in that spectrum like that from bottoms up. And Dr. Rebeca, she is from the top down thing, which is like top down on the line, if you see, from the designer coming down to understand the artisans to craft products. I mean, a PhD is on that. It's about how to take craft, to the people, and it talks about that. So the designer on one hand, and the person who is the artisan or the product you can say execution team or whatever it is, they have to find a common ground to really make a very, not just aesthetical, but also very functional product at an affordable cost. This is the common ground that we are trying to get it through our platforms, thinking that how do you so there's a whole lot of people in the spectrum, from the designer to the artisan, and again from artisan to the designer, and everyone comes in between. We are trying to vertically connect the two ends vertically, so that there is no communication gap between the two. And unless until we reach that kind of a absolutely free communication between the designer and also the artisan, we cannot have beautiful products. So this common ground is what we are, and we will be striving to do this, to bring guests from different product sectors in the bamboo to develop that culture that we are talking about. And for now, I would now stop here because I think I've already taken a lot of time. Enjoy our inspiring speakers, both of them. Rajeev is one hand, and Rebeca I have known for a very long time, and she's also a very good friend, and doing a lot of work. I mean, we have traveled also many places and met many places. We've been keeping exchanging notes with each other, and so he's another very dear friend and a very dedicated person in the sector. And so enjoy both those inspiring speakers, learn from them, and then we can all get connected again through our next webinars. Till then, thank you so much. Over to Hemang.
I think it was quite an elaborative insight. Now we head towards the presentation of the speakers. So now may I call upon Rajeev, who is a freelance artist and designer, master craftsman. His station at Idukki, currently at Wayanad district, Kerala, is a certified bamboo craft trainer from BCBI Tripura, and pattern master craftsman by the Handicraft Development Commissioner Office, Ministry of Textile, Chennai region. So he has been deputed as master trainer for many training programs organized by government and private sectors. Apart from works, he has won 2021 IICD Special Mention Award for Innovative Designs in Craft. Imparted as Master Craftsman for International Open Elective Bamboo Workshop 2019, February 2020. At National Institute of Design, NID Bangalore. Imparted as Speaker Hands-on Creativity in 2020, Taiwan. India Global Tech Forum 3, International Bamboo Day Festival. He has been included in the jury for International Bamboo Designs 2020. He had been mentioned 3 times in 2019-20 by International Bamboo Organization for Imbar. Let us all welcome Rajeev to present his works and experience in front of us. Thank you. Over to you, Rajeev.
Thank you, Hemang. Thank you so much. I think I am audible.
Yeah, quite audible.
Okay. Because I am from a village, so there should be some range problem, network problem. Pardon me for that. Okay. See, once again, I am thanking all the important and dedicated members of BSI. Because of them, I am here to talk about bamboo. I'm so glad to say that we are connected with bamboo, and I am enjoying to spend my time with this kind of people like Neelam Manjunath Madam, Ranganath Krishna, such people, because when we doing with bamboo, so we must have some people to hold our hand, to hold our ideas, to discuss with, to explore, to share the experience, and to be strong in the field of a natural material like bamboo. So nowadays, everyone have idea about this material, because it is not only about the charm or the importance of the organic material. It is about because we are surrounded with such kind of waste. I mean the plastic. That's why it is a essential part, essential thing to have any kind of material that can be a good alternative instead of this plastic. So technically, everybody have ideas how long bamboo will stand and when it started to grow, how to grow, where it will be. So people are discussing about it, and some kind of webinars usually repeating the things. Bamboo produces 30% of oxygen, and it grows day by day. That's all good things, but that's all data. That's all happening naturally. So we are here to explore it more and to enjoy and celebrate the charm and the possibility of bamboo to daily life. So whenever I mentioned like a designer, now I am so afraid to say that I am a designer or a master craftsman, because when we getting close to this amazing material, sometimes we will feel like kids. So because that much possibilities, the endless possibilities are existing in this field with bamboo. So as like everybody, when I started my work with bamboo, uh, as a child, when I stood in front of the bamboo grove, bamboo forest, so I could feel it is very soothing vertical lines by the nature. So I started to watch the bamboo because it was very comfortable as everybody. So when I completed my diploma in electronics and communication, so it was very hard for me to find out a job from that field. But my mind was filled with the beauty of nature, and because I was residing beside a river called Periyar. It is a great river from Kerala, and it was a forest village actually. So I used to see bamboo. I used to touch the bamboo because bamboo was very easy to approach. That's why. Anyway, I started um, my practice with bamboo from wind chimes, because once one of my friends showed me a wind chimes, and it was a great wonder for me. From a simple a piece of bamboo, how this beautiful sound came, and how the sounds soothing me and making me very calm. So it was a great wonder to explore actually. So I decided to continue with the sound because I used to hear the sound of the river. I used to see the green vibe of the forest. So I used to get inspiring wind. That's why when a name is required for me to represent my activity, I choose the name wind because I experienced with that, the name wind. So I thought it should be simple and it should be communicative, and it will continue even after my death. So when I called by Rajeev Windcraft, it's very proud for me, and it is not only my brand; it is the spirit of bamboo that flowing through all of us. Anyway, when I started to do with bamboo, after doing some wind chimes, then I just turned to do some product. So I couldn't call them like product or design, but as a beginner, I believed that's all design. But after many years, when I met people like Sushant, so he was the first man with whom I met who have a great idea about the bamboo and who showed me the disciplined lessons of bamboo to go forward. So when we have a discussion, when we had a good discussion about bamboo, so the relation between me and Sushant sir is not happened only one day. It was actually a great relation. At the starting of our meeting, there were nothing as a conversation, but after that, I used to watch him. So how he dealing with the bamboo, how he represent his responsibilities of design through bamboo. And when we talked to each other, I asked him, sir, actually what is mean by design? Then he said, actually the design is a creative responsibility to the place where we are practicing our life. So it was a great torch for me. Instead of doing meaningless thing, our design must be a responsible, creative responsibility to the place where we practice in our life. So that was a great trigger for me. Then from that moment, I tried to keep this discipline in mind. So, and he always advised me, see, before practicing, before saying the sustainable living, you have to learn about the sustainable consumption. So I asked him, what is the sustainable consumption? He said, sustainable consumption, you can feel that you have to practice it through the life. Um, you have to know and you have to experience what is um, the thought of a source and how you are um, bothered about the source. So through this kind of discussion, I think my sense of design started to begin like that. Anyway, the sustainable consumption justified, or the sustainable consumption pushed me to create some product with the minimal material. So the
Rajeev,
minimal material, hello?
Rajeev, whenever you want to start the PPT, you can let architect Hemang know about it.
Yeah. I am coming to that. And when I asked him about minimalism, he said the minimalism, the sustainable consumption is we can define as the minimal, at least the minimal manners toward the nature, what provide all the situation to life. So all these things are related with that kind of deep philosophies, I think. And then when I decided to go through my life as a craftsman perspective, then it was my great pleasure to continue within the discipline what he showed. And it is not only by him, he's my mentor, my great mentor actually. And when I came to this field, I could see so many creative people like Neelam Manjunath and Pravin Solanki, and so many people like that. And each people have different specialization, and they have particularities, and their way of approaching the bamboo are very interesting, and all that people should be good lessons for the craft people or who wish to come into the field of bamboo. And now it should be easy for me to go through my product or my attempt, and I can explain how I tried to approach the bamboo through this kind of criterions. Please, we can start the slide. Okay. Hemang, can we start the slideshow? Yeah. See, this is actually a card holder, and the big size can be a book holder for any bookshop or any kind of place where we have to display the things for the inaugural purpose or anything like that. So you can see the design as great people advised me, like the material consumption is very important key to maintain the minimalistic design language. Then I tried to use this kind of minimal material. But it never means to avoid the good portion of bamboo, because in all of my design, I tried to include the best part of bamboo. That comes very close to the outer layer, and you can see the thin. And this component, I mean the material, having the measure of about half centimeter and 2 to 3 mm thickness. So people will think, will it survive? Will it hold all these cords? Will it able to handle a book? That's related with some physics too. So when we doing this kind of product, we have to play with the simple science and the strength what the bamboo provides. So we can go to the next slide, please. The next, please. See, this is other kind of card holder, and in all of my designs, I tried to include the potential of bamboo. It is very important to get familiar with the character of bamboo. Then only a craftsman or a designer. See, design is a different sense, but when we applying the possibilities of design into a practical way through bamboo, it is very important to know about the characteristics or the potentials of bamboo. So bending bamboo is actually a interesting, very enjoying procedure to do with. So when we doing this kind of experiment, we can develop the sense of designing and we can develop the utility of bamboo. See, after bending the bamboo, even a small quantity of material will become very strong component for the design. You can see that. So it is not necessary to include a big quantity of material to show or to convince the client about a design, but it sometimes we can play a minimalistic design with the promising potential of bamboo like this. Okay, next. See, a simple leaf, but people used to ask me how we can define a particular species of bamboo for some particular designs. Actually, it is not like that. We don't want to bother about the all species available throughout our country, because in every terrain there should be some related bamboo species. So we can develop, we can study about such kind of raw material what existing in their own territory, and we can develop, we can find out the potential of bamboo depends upon the special category. So it is not a problem to have all the species in one space, because especially it is craft field, they are a small product, so we can use a bamboo to do so many interesting product by using their natural potentials or natural characteristics. So in this thing, you can see the bottom part is made with a big type of bamboo, and the top part, the leaf, made with the small type of bamboo or the outer layer of bamboo. So the bottom part can be mechanized, and the top part, the leaf, can be made with a craftsmanship. So it is a mix of the mechanical potential and the craftsman potential. Okay. Next one. See, this is an example how we can blend the natural material very simply. So when we use this kind of techniques to do a to evolve, to find out a new design, the minimalism will happen automatically. So we don't want to create a exaggerated creativity or anything like that. So in this thing, I just included the Oklahoma Travancore to create a frame. And as the bamboo or the jute is our, one of the versatile material for us, so I used it to cover the portion of the surface where the cup will rest. So we can say it is an organic combination of two material. Okay, this same thing we can use for the dividers, the room separators, or something like that. It should be, it will add a organic beauty to the that kind of structure, especially the Neelam Manjunath or madam or other architect, when they're doing with the bamboo structures, so they can include this kind of things to evolve their interior component utility or decor purpose. Please. So this was one of my most selling product. So this is a spoon stand actually. So when we designing a new thing, we must have a reason for that. So design is not an exaggerated version of thought. It is always going with a necessity actually. So when people behave with their food, so it is very difficult to place their spoon on the table because of the reason related with the hygiene. So in this simple product, they can rest the spoon. And also we tried to include the potential of bamboo. Even in a small product, we can include the character of bamboo, then the product will become interesting component for them. Okay. So this is one of the example to create essential product by using bamboo only. And we can create so many product like this with the uniform size. So we don't need any sophisticated machinery or any complicated system to make product like this. This is only craftsman hand. So you can see how uniform they are, how simple they are. I am not against to blend with the other material with the bamboo, but in this product, I didn't use any kind of bamboo, any other kind of material. So it is a paper clip actually. So we can replace the plastic hardcore clip with this kind of bamboo clips. And so my presentation should be mixed with each other, no problem. I can explain it very well. So this is the way how we can place our spoon or knife on the stand. You can see it will not disturb the table in any way, and it should be a small elegant piece for the table to decor and to use in a good mean. Next, please. Done? No. We have pictures like that. Okay. And yeah, we can start with this. Okay. See, one of my client asked me, he need a clock that represent a shape of a semblance of mountain. Then I tried to design a thing like this, and he said he will not bother about mixing of material. And he asked me to mix with any kind of material like a copper. Then I could create this type of design. So this is a peak of mountain, and we can see when we place this clock, it should be slanted toward the viewer, and the access should be very easy to read the time. So just a bend of bamboo like that, a V shape, and this is tapped, and you can see a copper sheet placed as the surface, as the dial. So the machine could be, we can hide the machine behind beside the copper sheet. Okay. See, this was another attempt to bring the bamboo into modernity by mixing with the electronics. So it happened in a open elective workshop at NID. So Sushant sir invited me to impart with the workshop as a master craftsman. Then he suggested me to blend my speaker with a actually it was a bamboo speaker before putting this Bluetooth speaker. It was a normal one. We can there were a bamboo slot where we can put our phone to channel the sound through the horn. And instead of that, when he suggested this Bluetooth speaker to attach behind the speaker, the cone, It was a great change. It was a great innovative product. So it is very important to accept, to adapt, to go, to cooperate with the creative people who doing the better job in the same field. So then the beautiful product will happen like this. And we tried to make so many variations for this kind of things. And anyway, it was a great change and a great lead to create new product like this, blending with the electronics. So it will give a new look, and not only the new look and a high performance too. This small speaker should be enough for a big hall to produce adequate sound for the audience. Please, the next. See, this is another view of the clock. This is the right position actually. We can see how it should be like that. So we can use another material too. Some people will use the rusted material too, those type of iron. So blending the bamboo with the other material will bring new language of design and new possibilities, easiness, aesthetics, so many things. See, this is one of my favorite work. Actually, I have done this kind of things for the interior project for Andaman Resort. So in Andaman, there is a particular island like called Havelock. Havelock is, I think, it is the one of the beautiest beach in the world itself. So when they invited me, it was by the CGH group, Casino Hotel Group. Those people are a peculiar people. They are respecting the nature so much, and they have their own philosophies about the nature and conservation and everything. So they advised me, Rajeev, you can mix other material to synthetic material with bamboo to represent our perspective toward the how to respect the nature. So we don't want to hide the plastic what we created as a great waste. So we have to mix that kind of things with the bamboo, and that will represent our attitude toward the nature. It was a great trigger for me to do this kind of art. Then I decided to attach the hardcore plastic of a sprinkler as the tail of this fish. You can see this is actually a existing fish model from Havelock. In their local language, they say kokari fish. It is a very tasty fish. I tasted it while I'm working at there. So when I attached the tail, the plastic part of the sprinkler like a tail, it was a great success for them, and they enjoyed it. Actually, this is a group fish of 20 or 18 fish like that. So when we include, when we cooperate this kind of thing with art or craft or any utility product, I strongly believe that will not ruin the beauty of the product. But instead of that, it will bring a new level of enjoyment to lift our product into a high level of respect toward the nature. So it is not about hide the plastic or any other material like that. It is it comes how to blend the material each other to bring the new design or art to enjoy with the responsibilities. Okay, the next one, please. See, this is other example of blending the material. Indeed, I know it is not a 50-50 ratio for bamboo and the metal, but it doesn't matter. So wherever we can put bamboo, like a charming component, we can do that. So this is a crab. This is also existing crab from the Havelock itself. They called it as a ghost crab. So it can run very fast through the meadow. So when I observed the crab, then it was so interesting information for me. We can represent some part of the crab with bamboo and some with metal. So this type of product happened. Please, the next. See, this is one of the product for which I got most appreciation from the client. This is a very big one. Actually, it comes between 4.5 and 5 feet. I think this is a huge fish actually. So it goes to the bar area. So it is a mix of bamboo and metal itself. It's a rough metal. So I think the GI sheet. And all the material what I used for the artwork is coming from the sites on waste. So I didn't insist the client to buy any new material from new market. So as the CGH people suggested me, I tried to utilize all the material what are available from the sites on scrap. But when we created, after creating these kind of things, they became so happy, and they said it represent our attitude. So a fish like eaten. So the bamboo's potential is very endless actually. So we can include bamboo into art, into craft, and many. There are so many possibilities for bamboo like that. Depends upon our sense of imagination, sense of design, sense of art. Okay, the next one, please. So this is another example to blend the bamboo. This is simply the coil technique, but I tried to keep the curvature in the overall structure, overall shape. So it is a lampshade. So the top part have to deal the electrical connections, and it must be strong to deal the heat. That's why I selected the metal part like that. So there is a hook, and we can put the lamp inside this, so it will glow. It's a beauty part of the place. Okay, the next one. That's all the scrap waste. So there should be another mail. We can open that. Yes, actually, this is a bag from Manipur. And when I bought this bag, I tried to attach 2 pieces of the bamboo at each corner of the same thing. That will add the beauty, and at the same time, it will protect the corner too. So designs are in a design, the components or the members are not meant for only a showpiece. It must be play. It must be able to play some important role to protect, to increase the beauty of the product. Okay. You can see how it goes very elegantly. So to tie this member to the bag, I used the cane strips for that. You can see that. So it is a totally eco-friendly. It is a yes, a natural material combination like that. Next, please. Other view of the thing. See, and this is another example how we can include the bamboo into our daily life utility in a stylish way. So this is a piece of bamboo, a small piece of bamboo actually, shaped in a peculiar way. And I tried to give more strength and shape, and to provide the memory in the shape by the thermal modification. It's a kind of experiment with the fire. When we heat the bamboo, it will get more strong. And I think the water absorbing nature should be, we can reduce the water absorbing nature of bamboo by doing this kind of experiment. So we can decide bending or angle by adopting this kind of method. So it will lift the bamboo a new level of strength and a new level of sight. Okay. See, and some people asked me to do some product in which they can apply the mechanical way of the bulk production. So in this product, you can see this is a tea coaster, though the total shape like a cup. So it was a design like that. And the flat piece actually by the mechanical process, it is very easy to get like that. And we can, it is very easy to get decide thickness of the or the flat piece by adjusting the machine's part. And you can see a outer line going through the the cup. It is actually man-made. It is a outer piece of bamboo, and there comes the craftsmanship. So the small touch of a craftsman with the mechanical support of the product, we can create interesting designs like this. So it should be a set of 4 or 5 things, and you can see a hook comes at a one edge. The hook can be like a part of hanging, and we can stock the or the all of the tea coasters with the help of that hook. Yes. See, actually this is a small product, but a beautiful product designed by Sushansa actually, and it was done for the Tripura Manipur training program. So when we work like a team, this very glad to say he can bring new design by understanding my potential too. And it is very glad to complete the product like this. So this is a combination of the traditional potential of weaving and the potential of bamboo material, I mean the bending. So you can see when we say about the tradition we can define as tradition is a particular knowledge and discipline for a particular region of activities or practice. So the tradition is not supposed to stay like a dead cow. The tradition must be the edge of time. It must be contemporary. So it must be time on time. That's why there is a great responsibility in traditional people to be in the front line of the craft. So they are not supposed to stay on a position like a historical thing. And the responsibility is come forward and be part of the modernity by adapting the new potential, the new way of doing, and the potential of bamboo by getting the good lessons of its characteristics. Okay, you can see it is a table clock actually. So we can, it is the backside. This is the way to stand on the table. Okay, the next please. You can see this is a surface. So the machine can hide under the mat. So it is a very beautiful piece of time to decorate your table like that. You can see how we bent it and how we attached the segment each other. Okay, it is. You can see the weaving is very fine, and it comes only only 2 mm or 3 mm. I mean the measure of the each strip, and it is prepared from the outer layer of bamboo. So we can say there are 3 type of strips available from that kind of bamboo for weaving purpose. One is known as the silky standard that comes very close to the outer side, including the silica itself. So after removing the silica, we can see a grade 1 fiber, and I think it will illuminate like silk. And after that, we can see the cotton category of the strips, and finally comes the jute category. Okay, this is the silk one. Okay. So when we going after design, it is very important to use a right material, a right maturity, and the right color, and so many factors are there. So that's all you can learn through experience. The next, please. Do we have any other folder to open?
No, I think this is the last folder.
Okay. Anyway, I think we have done. See, designs never means only the paperwork. So it must be practical through understanding the raw material in correct way and adapting the right lessons through the time with experience. I think I said it. So if people have a doubt, they can ask in their own way, and we will try to answer sincerely. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Madam.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Hema.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes we lost the
Very
range.
nice.
And I think dealing with bamboo was something very different for me. But then, I mean, for all of us, but looking at your works, I feel this is completely a different world you're trying to create. And besides dealing with bamboo, you have such a maturity with the design, and dealing with the shapes as well. So this simple thing like spoon stand comes out to be very beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think we have never seen such a products, dealing with these type of natural materials. But of course, there were materials been carved in wood as well. But I think this is one of the very few designers which deals with such a sensibility with this material. And I'm really happy to see this. Really, very inspired by it.
Yes, very true. And as Manjunath ma'am rightly said, that he is one of the finest designers. He's really, we are called convinced. The products he has brought out, very creative. And then, by the way, Rajeev, while you were speaking, I was drawing all these products and I was sketching them. I sketched down all the products.
I can send it, sir, directly to your mail. No problem.
Beautiful, they are beautiful. We are all very, very happy to see your presentation. Thank you.
Rajeev, what about the fruit ball?
Sir, actually, I tried to send, but I think there happened some failure due to network, I think.
Okay, that is a fabulous one, fruit ball.
Yeah, next time we can include and we can have a discussion.
Yeah. Okay.
That.
Thanks. I think we have a question, Mr. Ashish.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Good morning. It was very nice presentation. You can hear me, right?
Yeah,
yes, please go ahead.
Okay, you have worked with bamboo and so many materials. How is the flexibility with all other material? Which is the most suitable material to go with bamboo?
You mean you asking me the flexibility?
You have used other material. How compatible it is? Other materials, out of those materials, which is the you found most easy to work on with bamboo and the other material?
See, it is an interesting question, but you don't mislead my answer as a opposite statement toward your question.
Sure,
because
sure.
when we blend other material with bamboo, so we must be able with enough courage to clear it, because when I use the plastic with bamboo, usually some people will ask me why you are spoiling the beauty of bamboo by adding the plastic with bamboo. So you can do only with this bamboo. Then I became wondered, because I will think how the people can say this kind of blind suggestion or blind opinion about a product, because they can accuse me this is not good design. Okay, then I can adapt, I can accept, and I can try for a better one. That is the way of craftsman to respect a client. But when the people forgetting about the waste by which we surrounded and we are living and we have to, how we can forget the situation where we living. We created the plastic and we are living between them.
Correct,
And
correct.
when we're trying to include those plastic into our product, it is a other thought actually. It is not only about the aesthetics or not only about the trick behind it. It is a responsibility. It is an attitude. And anyway, I mean, I like the plastic to mix with the bamboo because I think that is a responsibility for me to show my own child. When we use iron, it is very easy to use because iron will hold the bamboo component in the right position in even in a small product. So iron is very easy to handle with. I mean, the metal is very easy to handle with, but when we use it plastic, it will give a other kind of satisfaction for our mind because it will give a pleasure to adapt. So how can I think I answered you. You
Yeah,
can
I
try.
understood your point. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any next question? Any other question?
Ram, would you like to have some questions for us?
You please ask.
So Rajeev, I want to ask
Okay.
you. So is this all the products being personally done by you, or there are also craftsmen being involved with these products?
No.
Because it seems what it's been interpreted from my side is that these are very much customized, crafted, and it seems you took months to derive one product.
It is my own hand because there is nobody to help me like that. It is me. All the I am behind all the product what I am showing. But I can assure you, I can teach people to create the same quality. I think I am a good teacher too to make them able to do the product.
So surely, for a week workshop at least.
Please, I am welcoming you. Indeed, and we can do a workshop together. I think for the BSc, I think, and now I am very anxious, very interested to do workshop with the BSI with the Manjunath madam because now I realize people are very capable, people are very interesting, they are very sincere into the field. So I am very glad to cooperate with them. I'm looking for an occasion for that. We can do.
Yeah, I think we will be meeting Rajeev soon, hopefully in Bangalore. We will be speaking to you.
Yes, madam. Yes. I am. Yes. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, sure.
And any other question for me?
Sir, any more questions to Rajeev?
Yeah, I think I just have a comment, Rajeev, again. So I was listening to you, and I think that thing about wind was really beautiful. Because Vayu is called prana. Prana, that's what gives life.
Yeah, madam.
That's what we say when we talk about Panchtattvas. Vayu is called prana. So that beating, that heartbeat with bamboo, I think that's a really very nice name and a very nice premise to tell about your products. And as I said, your products is absolutely a different genre, in my opinion. And
thank you, madam.
We all should promote and take it forward. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I think we have a question from Ram.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Rajeev sir, yeah, designs are very unique. Thank you for sharing that. My question is, when you design a product, I think your approach is very wide, not only to bamboo material, at least you're exploring. But my question is, when you combine with the other material or with the same bamboo material, two things I want to understand. One is, are you using how you combine that, because the component which you use to mold it could be a fire or a glue, right? So, so what technique you use to bring that, in a perfect shape? What kind of glues or how much fire you will be using to create a fire? Any specific equipment you're using?
Good question, actually. So I think all the questions are good toward a craft to practice. So I'm glad to answer that. See, it is not about the tool, actually. It is not about the way what we're doing. It is how sincere you are. That is the important thing. So people asked me when I doing my fishes with bamboo, they asked how it comes this much beauty and how you can create this kind of things. I said, see, the first thing is I love them. When we love the thing, then we can create. So the important thing is you have to love madly and you have to respect the material. Then the both component will make you a skill hand. That is my thing. See, when we attaching two material each other, the love will make you able to hide the joineries, and the sincerity will make you to be able to get appreciation from the client. That is my way, and I invite you for a workshop, and I advise you insist BSI to conduct a workshop like that, and we can meet there, and I can show all these things directly to you.
Sure, sir. So I have created a couple of sculptures. Definitely will meet you. I will show you something. What I tried.
See, it is a time for celebration, actually. See, I am not only inspired by me. It is not important to show only my work. I am inspired by Sushant sir. I'm inspired by Neelam Manjunath. I inspired by Praveen Solanki, Sandeep Sangaru. Because see, before doing work, we have to listen. We have to see our masters and good people who creating these things very, very cunningly, very sharply. That's why we are here to celebrate the time and to say about bamboo. That's why you are here to ask the interesting question. So be connected.
Yeah. And I just wanted to take your time. I just want to appreciate Ram's commitment. He was sleeping. He set an alarm at 2 o'clock and he's joined this webinar from US.
Oh my God.
Every webinar he's here, waking up early in the morning, and I appreciate your commitment, Ram.
Yeah, I got passion into bamboo, so it's making me not to sleep.
Sir, I think he can show his sculpture if it is possible.
Yeah, sure. I'll post it in the chat, sir. 1 minute. I tried something because I was connected with Eugene from Australia. He's a architect, a bamboo architect especially. I was I was taking the training with Eugene, so he made me to create a sculpture. Let me post it. It's very immature stage. It's not. I'll post it 2 minutes.
All right. Thanks, Ram. Hemant, let's move on to our next speaker.
Yes. Thank you, Rajeev, for the wonderful insight of your works and experience you have shared to us. I think that will take away to a different level for all of us.
Thank you.
And now I call upon Dr. Rebeca Rubens, if I've spelled it correctly. Yeah. So, is an alumni of NIFT Delhi and NID Ahmedabad. When she was convinced she was not academically inclined, she surprised herself by thoroughly enjoying her PhD research at Delft University of Technology at the intersection of the craft, design, and sustainability. She continues a professional practice in this domain through her sustainability design studio called Rhizome. She has worked with bamboo for 2 decades now, and it remains her expertise and material of choice. She is a bamboo ambassador, a World Bamboo Ambassador for the World Bamboo Organization. Rebeca teaches because she believes that the surest way to a sustainable future is to implant the sustainability bug into the designers of the future. She is a visiting faculty at several design schools across India. Rebeca is the author of several publications, including a book on bamboo for the Prince Plus fonts and one on mainstreaming sustainability in crafts, MSMEs through design for Routledge. She is currently working on an edited volume on craft in India. May I ask her to present her works and share experience in front of us? Over to you, Rebeca.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, it's clear.
Ram, if you want to go back to sleep, it's going to be the same presentation as I did for
No, I'm happy to stay back, ma'am. Thanks. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So just sharing my journey. I began. Hemant, how much time do I have? Hemant, sorry.
You have 45 to 50 minutes. You can take the time.
As much time as you can take.
Probably 30-35 minutes you can present, and maybe 40 minutes as well. And then question answers from the viewers.
Okay, great. So I actually started working with bamboo in 2001 because I had a professor called MP Ranjan who felt I would be a really good fit for the sector. I come from a family of interior designers and architects. So I was all set to do Bauhaus and in love with Philip Stark, warring with my father. And he was totally against this idea of my pursuing bamboo and all these alternate materials. And he was the second batch of SEPT. So he was wondering what I'm doing with my life. Anyway, Ranjan sent me off to Tripura. And that's when I first began my journey with bamboo. In my head at that time, bamboo was just baskets and it was a really boring material. But when I went there, I was just amazed that in Tripura, everything was bamboo. They would eat bamboo, they would live in bamboo, their babies would be in bamboo. So I did this project in Tripura, my graduation project as a postgraduate of NID in 2001. So I used bamboo in slats like this. I used bamboo using the fine bamboo mats, and I colored bamboo. So all of these things were not done then. I thought I was very brilliant and I thought we would make millions of money for all of the villages, but sadly it was not so. To find out why and what I had done wrong, I joined the International Network for Bamboo in Rattan. That's a multi-governmental institution. I consulted with them for 7 years. I was a full-time consultant. I started my career doing the mission study for Uttarachal, which was a new state. And I concluded managing marketing for Asia, Africa, and Latin America through a project called the Global Marketing Initiative. I left India to pursue my PhD because I wanted to know how design could actually make a change, because I'd been working in all of these regions and I didn't see that the development sector was making a significant impact. And I really wanted to know that we are promising these people a better life. Can we actually do it through bamboo? So through my long journey, I worked with many international institutions, UNDP, UNIDO, UNEP, World Bank, worked with many governments. I worked with many really large NGOs, and I worked with really small NGOs. And now eventually I have my own practice, because I think that when you do your own practice, you have most control of what you want to do and how you're doing it. I had seen that around the time of my graduation project in 2001, like since the 90s, bamboo had been growing in importance. There was this group of Dutch designers who had got this whole shipment of bamboo from China, and they had made these furnitures. Meanwhile, ASUS had also released this kind of a bamboo cladding. And I was amazed that this natural material was behaving in this really disciplined manner. And I became fascinated with this material and what was happening with it. But what I saw was that from becoming really high-end products, it was moving to mainstream markets. So China, obviously being the hope of bamboo and being the home of mass production, had started using mass production ideas and philosophies into bamboo. So you could see colorways, you could see ideas of modularity, deployability, all of these things in bamboo. But what I saw is that in these kind of products or these kind of products, which are technology intensive, growing, you need so much of bamboo for the factory. So growing would be in some plantation, harvesting would be with somebody who has the kind of a machine to harvest it. Transporting will be in JCB, innovating money goes to me, processing money goes to the guy who owns the factory, and marketing money goes to IKEA, whoever that factory is. So my question was that in the traditional value chain, the supposedly poor bamboo producer gets all the money, right? He grows it in his backyard, cuts it with his dowel, transports it on his head, thinks himself what he wants to do, talks to his neighbor, he makes it and sells it. So every value addition this guy is getting here, whereas by making these hi-fi products, this guy is getting nothing. So I was just wondering to myself that as Inbar, we are going around telling everybody that we have this great designers and they're going to make these products and see all of these products, they're going to change your life, and all the villagers are so fascinated that it's going to change their life. But I didn't think it was going to change their life. In fact, I knew it's not going to change their life. It's going to make their life even worse, because one resource which they have access and they're able to produce, they'll not be able to produce that also. Also, according to the kind of Hindu division of labor system, right, the craftsmen are not allotted land. So these bamboo working communities, if you see, they are forest dwelling communities. And the reason for that is there was a different social system until the British came and colonized us and took away the forest as a state resource. Otherwise, the forest was everybody's, and it was these people's, forest working communities. So now these people didn't have access to material anymore, and they had only one creative skill, that was working with bamboo. They didn't have land to farm. They didn't have any other skill to earn money from. So for me, it became very urgent that if the resource has been removed from their hands because of the state mechanizations, what can I do to keep the skill and that money at least in their hand? Otherwise, these are guys who will go to the city and become labor. Maybe some of them will become servants, some of them might become drivers or something like that. But because they're from a backward community, they'll always have a problem there. So that's why for me it was so important to work with these bamboo working communities. So they are called Kotwayas in Gujarat, they are called Buruds in Maharashtra. So they are called different names and different things. So I was interested in looking at these communities. Okay. So I saw that there is one bamboo leaf. On one side, all of the people in the global north are making these very hi-fi products, which are amazing, beautiful. I also want to buy them, very expensive, and they're going to do well. On one side, we have all of these people in Mizoram and all of these northeastern states who are making these really beautiful things. It's linked to their culture. It's linked to their rituals, like they'll give it in marriages and pujas and all these things. But now those systems are breaking down. So except for marriages and rituals, for agriculture and all, they are using plastic and all those things because they're lightweight. They're cheaper also. So these guys are using their skills to make products. They are going to melas and people are saying that, oh, this is just bamboo. Can you give it cheaper? And so they're making something cheaper, but it's looking cheaper. And so people are asking them to give it even more cheaper. So in this sense, this guy will keep on getting poorer and poorer because he keeps on making a poorer and poorer quality thing by giving poorer and poorer material and littler time. So it's a kind of a vicious circle. So how do you work in this situation? So for me, what worked was actually looking at bamboo as a material which is really resonating with sustainability. We are now paying for things that we never paid for before, right? Like we pay for water, we pay for carbon, we pay for oxygen. We go to facials also, we get oxygen facials. So like the stuff that we took for granted, we are now paying for it, right? Consumers want those organic things. Governments are also on the sustainability bandwagon. And almost everybody, if you just open Instagram, you'll see hashtag sustainable design. So everybody wants to project themselves as sustainable because this is what the market is looking at. In fact, studies show that 60%, 66% of consumers were willing to pay more for sustainable products in 2015. Imagine we are in 2022, okay? With the pandemic, people are even more, they have been thinking, what are we doing to the world? Is this going to be the world we leave for our children to inherit? Are we even going to take out our lives here in this unsustainable world? So sustainability is a very big deal. So I saw a way for bamboo-based MSMEs, for craftspeople, that they make the products like this, but they sell it in this market. So our products, which we manufacture or which I design for different people, are not crafty. In fact, often when KVIC and other people would come, they would be like, "Oh, you're working with craft." So I was like, "No, they're mainstream products. I'm just not working with a capital intensive system which does not work in India, right?" It's like saying Gandhiji's entire Khadi movement was craft, you know. So I think a place like India, you cannot really demarcate art from design, from craft, because we are like swimming in all of it at the same time. Okay, so I started Rhizome in 2009 as a sustainable design studio. We would make crafted products. We would make them from bamboo. We would make communities make them, and they would be in line with commercially viable markets. So this is the kind of product that we would make. So you can see this hanger. It's not really like in that craft, ethnic, and all those associations with bamboo. Also, interestingly, everybody else is also doing it. Even if you look at really big bad brands like H&M, they are also come out with their conscious exclusive collection. So they are doing this because you can't get away by being unsustainable only. Government is going to make this compliance, and then government is going to, monitor us on this. So whereas sustainability was a trend in the 90s and in the 2000s, it is now going to be compliance. People are going to come and put you in jail if you're not sustainable, right? So where we could have brownie points as Rhizome for being sustainable, now we've come down to good design, because if everybody is sustainable, everybody has to be sustainable. The only thing that can keep you current is good design, which is what we have been running with from day one. So, like for example, IKEA is also saying that we are going to be people and planet positive by 2030, 8 years, less than a decade, they're going to do it, they claim. So for me, what was interesting was to use craft. So what is craft? Craftspeople, the skill and tradition, and the resource, right? So why I wanted to work with craft is because it uses a lot of material, it uses a lot of productive labor force, and it is able to look at development holistically, not just look at eco design and eco aspects of design. So what happens is that when we take away craft from the equation, or we fragment craft, we still have the craftspeople, but they become labor. We still have the skill, but they become production techniques. We take away the tradition, so it could be from anywhere, and the resource is hogged with no kind of a connect to the resource. So this lady becomes just nobody in the entire situation. She doesn't think that you came to my village or my next village and you cut the trees and the birds have died and flown off, or the fish died or anything. She just becomes a little machine. She comes, she works, she earns, she goes. She doesn't care about what she's doing because she's not accountable. And you see these kind of industrial products everywhere in the world. I mean, if I show you this product and ask you where is this product from, it could be anywhere. You can see this product anywhere. So I wanted to work in a space where there are no nameless, faceless products that I make. There are no nameless, faceless people who make my products, and there are no nameless, faceless people who get my products. I think that if we have a community of buyers, sellers, makers, everything, that is the only way, because I don't think that in this sustainability crisis, the police coming or compliance or figures that you fill or pollution checks, I don't think this is going to get us through this crisis. I think what is going to get us through this crisis, because we are so deep in this crisis already, is going to be love, hope, innovation, and faith that we can make a change. If we lose all of these things, I don't think we're going to get out of this crisis. And I think that for that, we need to work as a community, as people, not as agents, not as labor, not as players. Another thing is that if you change your, like, there are all these companies and they're doing these bamboo board factories and things like that, okay, if you do that and if you use your resource and you remove any tradition out of it and you remove anything which is geographically indexed to you out of it, okay, how long will you keep on producing until somebody else comes along who is cheaper? Okay, we've all seen this happen. First, it was Vietnam. Bamboo was in China. Then it moved to Vietnam. Then it moved to India. It touched Philippines around the same time. It went to Indonesia and now it's going to Africa. This is the bamboo circuit and this is the circuit of the world. Colonization also took place exactly like this because of resources, right? So the moment we make stuff, we earn money, we have a better quality of life. We don't want to be exploited. So the price of a product goes up. So it is just a matter of time if we don't use innovation that we are going to be looked over by the world markets. So we have raw materials, we have manufacturing, and we also have innovation because we have some of the best design schools in the world. Okay, so a possible strategy for me for developing countries is to use your existing renewable materials, use your existing labor, and tap into your own markets. The whole world is dying to come to India to sell because there's so many of us and we have money right now. If we just add to that mix innovation and tap the emerging markets and just keep our finger on the pulse of India, we don't need to export. We don't need to sit on the shelf with a product from Indonesia on one side, a product from China on one side, and a product from Philippines on one side, and just figure out that who could they exploit more, and that's why that product is cheaper. So that is why I'm really looking at innovation and looking inwards rather than looking outwards. So this is a product which I developed in one of this DCH workshops where they just take you and they throw you in some place and they give you a brief and they say do something in 15 days. So I went to a cluster in Nalchar where they were making only these kinds of fish traps. And then I just truncated this fish trap, multiplied it, and just built forms along the lines of the fish trap so that they could make it. So there was no skill training. There was just training in how to creatively think. Also, because we had to do spa accessories, we had to use some kind of glass thing and there was no glass there. That's why everything I did it around the chai cup, because chai cup is one glassware that you will get into the most rural of places in India. So we did candles in this, we put it for face packs. So we did everything around these two things. And we really sold out really well. So innovation can make you, it can help you make a paradigm shift. So this is the Kotwala community who we were working with in, I worked with them for my PhD in Gujarat. They make these kind of baskets, typical ones. This lady, I always tell in every presentation, she actually told me, don't take my picture. And she borrowed clothes from all of her friends and she wore these clothes. They are so poor that they don't have clothes to wear. And it's not that they are not conscious. They are very conscious. They simply don't have any other option. They are that poor. Okay. So there was an NGO working there and they were making girls work and they're making these kind of chairs and all these kind of things which were not selling. It was a big drain of money. So when we joined this project, we worked on, first of all, solid bamboo because there was a lot of stocksai out there. There was a lot of really pathetic strictus there. So strictus is an amazing species, right? If you deprive it from water, its wall thickness increases and it becomes solid towards the bottom. So the more you abuse it, the more it becomes solid. So nobody was caring for it. So we were using the strictus and other stocksai species. So the first thing I did was I turned it on the lathe. First of all, to give it a look that it's not bamboo. Second of all, to standardize it, even if I was using a cylinder, because bamboo is broad at the bottom and thin at the top. So it's a cone. So even if I have one bamboo, I can't get 4 legs of the same size. I can never get it. So by turning it on the lathe, I could get a uniformity, which means I could do folding furniture, which means I could take larger orders. I stained it because unlike the Chinese bamboo, our bamboo has a lot of stains because it's kept very badly. We neglect our bamboo, don't take care of it while it's growing. So by doing these water-based stains, I could just take away any idea that it's bamboo or that it's bad quality bamboo. I structurally cleaned up the thing. So if you see, I've splayed the legs. I could therefore remove to take out all of these cross members from here. So material cost itself was saved. I removed this entire material used in the seat. So again, weight is saved. Weight is saved means that the courier cost reduces if it's not going volumetric. If it's a folding product, for example, I tied up with Ashim mills and I took their denim waste and I wove the chairs with it. So we sell this chair even today, whereas this chair we could never sell it even like 20 years ago. So innovation can actually make you make a paradigm shift. So this is the thing we did for Good Earth in Delhi. This is their baby brand called Nicobar. So for a long time, I was seeing that people in Nalchar and Chillam can weave bamboo, but woven bamboo products have a typical connotation. So using these same skills, I wove it with textile. So this frame is this frame. this frame is this frame, and the weave is the exact same. So we call it a soup chair. So you can actually move skills around in linear materials, in solid materials. You can do all that kind of stuff. And by doing this, you can dovetail innovation with the creative and cultural economy. So this is what the world reports are saying, that people are not going to buy stuff, they're going to buy experiences. They're going to shop for things with a narrative, with a story. So that is why you need to invest in design, and not just product design, but actually strategic design, which is experiential products, which allow people to actually inhabit a different world. Like we're talking about these ideas of the metaverse and all that, so many people are buying these things in the metaverse. A metaverse is a whole space online where you can go and you can buy jeans. Like I was recently reading, some woman got raped on the metaverse and so on and so forth. So like virtual reality is so real, okay? And the point of virtual reality is that it allows people to have experiences. That is why people are interested in this virtual reality, because it is a reality close to reality. And I think that is what we really need to look at in design. So for me, it was a big question, which way to go. Should I go like really fine artistic things, cultural, very expensive things? Should I go where everybody can have it, or should I go and help like the poor producers to make low cost things? And I eventually decided to go all three ways. So we have one thread which is expressive. This is not really bamboo, but this is for a resort in Gir. So it's inspired by this person called Alexander Calder, who used to do these kinetic mobile structures. So these are just pots, but they are balanced very carefully. So it is also the genre of product. This is that same kind of a concept with bamboo, where we have these giant bamboo flowers. So this is in the Marriott. We also do really mainstream products. So these are our chairs, which we call our global work, which could just fit into any kind of home. We also do things for the base of the pyramid. So this is a cradle which we did for one Harvard incubated setup called Baka bundle. So we did this folding kind of a cradle, and this cradle was going to be sold in the global north, and for X number of cradles that were sold, one cradle would be donated in India. So we designed the sensory toy also using women's hand skills. We designed all of this other stuff. Our stuff was checked in a lot of factories and centers for quality control, because it was to do with infants and all that. The reason I'm telling you all this is to make you understand that just because you're using something like bamboo, just because you're using women's hand skills or craft or whatever, it doesn't mean you can't have the rigor of a mainstream product. I think it becomes even more important for us to have that rigor of a mainstream product, so that we don't appear like Jholawala artists who are going to come and make cradles, where your babies get stuck or something doesn't work well. I think craft by nature is a low volume product, and for a low volume product to work, it has to be more beautiful, more connected, and better quality. I don't think craft can go into large volumes, or it should go into large volumes, even though there are many craft cities like Firozabad and other places which subscribe to that. Okay, so now if you've added value, make sure that the user knows this through branding. So we found that we were telling the story a lot. So we started coming in all of these magazines. So this is the Queen of Sweden. This is a project which I did in Vietnam. I was in Vietnam for 3 years working with them. So it's very easy to tell the story, but the reality was actually me sitting like this in exhibitions trying to sell stuff. The reality is that how do you sell the story, right? So for us, the first time it happened was when we went on to Jaipur. And at that time, we didn't know that how to mark our prices and all that. So we just said, these are our prices, now you sell them. And they came up with these prices, 1,300, 3,800. And I was like, oh my God, now we'll have to pay for this truck to come back because nothing's going to sell. But everything sold out and it was great. And the reason it got sold out and it was great was because they very cleverly sold me and not the product, because I was going to the Victoria and Albert Museum to put up some best of Indian design of some of my work. So we also need to be marketeers, and we need to make sure that once we've made this story, make it as credible as possible. So transition from branding to labeling. So that's what I was doing for Vietnam and UNIDO. So we made this holistic sustainability assessment system where you can see it's Vietnam, you can see assessed for holistic sustainability. This is a mark of excellence. These are meters. So you can see that this product is very culturally sustainable, but not very economically sustainable, right? So it might be something like some ritual object which has very high cultural relevance, but not many people are buying it, or it's not providing livelihoods to many people. So we did this branding, we did the softwares and everything for them. We did all of the collaterals for them. Also, like we worked really hard on the packaging and unboxing experience. So bamboo is a fantastic material for packaging and unboxing. Like you see all these bamboo crates in Ratnagiri and all that, which are housing mangoes. How can we take this a level ahead and make really good bamboo packaging? There are many kinds of certifications in the world. In India, especially, you have this thing called GI, which is really good. But there are many other logos like FSC and Craftmark and all that. You really need to shop around for the certifications and see the ones which suit your genre of products the best. Like be aware of competition, but be fearless as well. If you're doing what you do best, then nobody can do it better. So share and create benchmarks and healthy competition. So we put our work on our website, on our Instagram page. So this is our work for one of the resorts called 1000 Islands. We contributed these mirrors and all of these elements. This is what we did for the Gandhi Ashram store. This is one of the projects I'm proudest of because we just had, like I tell everybody, literally 3 lakh rupees. And this was what we got. And this is what we did in 3 lakh rupees. So it was really a labor of love. There was none of our fees included in 3 lakh rupees. And all we had was bamboo and paint to do this entire project. This is another resort, Run Riders. So we did the interiors for this, and we also did the bamboo furniture. So this is also some of our furniture. We also worked with reconstituted wood here because we needed some surfaces which bamboo could not provide. And reconstituted wood I found was actually more sustainable than bamboo board. In case some of you have a query, why didn't you use bamboo board? Reason being, bamboo board has very thin sections. So when you laminate them together, you use so much more glue, right? So this is not ideal. You still need glue, but it's less evil than bamboo board. This is something we did for a company called Humble Ben. We did the bamboo pens for him. And so this was a US based company who wanted to reignite the love for writing. So we did these pens, we did this package and etc. etc. So yeah, there are people who copy our stuff. So this is our work, and this is a screenshot of this one company called, I think it's called Bamboo Pecker, also in Bangalore. And we had this war with them. And after a lot of things, they refused to acknowledge anything. And they said that your thing is not patented, then what is your proof and all that stuff. So yeah, guys, this stuff happens. But the fact of life is that in the economics of it, I cannot spend 30,000 to patent each and every one of my products in a rule which says that if there's 30% change, it's a different product, right? So this is where ethics comes into the play, and we are in an unethical place, I think. So we need to accept that people are going to be that. Then we came back, we realized that we need to be more aware of competition. We need to rethink on what we do best so that people like them cannot copy it so easily. We need to reevaluate, re-strategize, rebuild, be even more fearless, because now there's a fear that people are going to copy. It's been done. Be wiser for your mistakes. So we created our in-house brand. So these are pieces from our in-house brand. These are the kind of work we do. We supply all across the world. We have a lot of things in India as well. We supply to interior designers. We also did jewelry label called Baka during the pandemic, where we started our work with bamboo, but now we are working with a lot of other materials as well. In fact, with Baka this year, we won the Designer of the Year for Fashion and Jewelries at L in Mumbai. This is my studio. This is where we work. So we have this prototyping facility right in the front out here where designers can interact and work collaboratively, and our production is done elsewhere. We have a lot of other exciting consultancies we do, like we work with Godrej for a collection. We work with Barakat Bundle, that Harvard thing which I showed you. We export to Teresa Martin. but all that is under NDA and we cannot share it. But what we can share is, so this book which I wrote for the Prince Klaus Fund, it was because people would always tell me that, oh, we really loved your presentation. Is there something written about it? Can there be something which we can read? So I wanted to make a book which my father would read. And my father being an architect who hates reading and who lives through pictures. So I wanted to make a book where you could absorb things through pictures and the pictures would interest you enough to make you read. So, so this was that kind of a book. And the other book which I did I think in 2018 or something was a very scholarly book. So that was my father's type of book, and that is my type of book where you really read and philosophize and wonder how to save the world. I also teach in a lot of places. So this is me in Vietnam working with this project. So this is a French intern. These are some Vietnamese people. They're engineers, and I'm teaching them how to design sustainably. This is my studio. So we are also discussing what we should do and what we should not do for our own product range. This is me in CEPT. I teach in CEPT and I teach in many other institutions. So this is the work of one of my students from CEPT last semester. So these are like babies, okay? Because these are like 18, 19-year-olds who are designing with bamboo. So I'm really proud of this work where he looked at how to create a very simple engineered structure, not using laminate and not using glue and keeping it sustainable. So he looked at a mainstream material and he even created this material which was made out of bamboo dust and glue. He explored a lot of glues. So yeah, so when I have these workshops, people come and they're like hijacking my studio and creating general gadar, but it's good fun. This is Ratan. He's my master craftsman. Like I tell everybody, he can school everybody. He's taken a workshop in Africa. He knows CAD and he will pick up your SketchUps and teach you how to do SketchUp also. So I think bamboo needs a much larger part in education. I think it should be part of every design school exercise. So when you have wood, metal, and plastic, I think bamboo and renewable materials need to be added. So again, showing you Rhizome's in-house brand. So this is our latest collection of lights. So again, my parting words would be that only worry when you begin copying other people's work and other people stop copying your design. This was told to me by the lady who owns Bandage, Archana Shah. I once asked her, Archana, aren't you worried that people will copy your design? So she said, I'm worried when people stop copying because that means there's nothing there. So I now maintain this thing. And when I talk about designs, I'm not just talking about the physicality of the products, but also your strategy, your planning, your thinking, your innovation. Most important, be a good person. Don't copy other people's stuff. Remember that karma will come back to bite you. So do unto others as you would have others do unto you. We all say that we are professionals. So let's be professional and show professionalism and respect and ethics because this is what we want. Just as we wouldn't want other people to come and steal our projects because we're not getting along with the client and Bhabhi's, torturing us. I don't think you need to copy other people's bamboo stuff either. I don't think it's a good thing to do and we definitely don't do it. In fact, we spend half of our time telling people who show us Pinterest कि नहीं हम copy नहीं करेंगे. आपको कुछ बनाना है हम बना देंगे मगर copy नहीं करके देंगे आपको. Sorry. और अगर आपको जाना है तो हम वो भी बता दें आपको कहाँ पे जाना है. So half of our time is just being postmen away from us. So yeah, that was my bamboo journey. So good luck everybody and thanks for listening.
Rebeca, it was really wonderful insight. And I feel there is a completely different dimension towards looking at the intensity of the research and working with the local craftsmen. So that's how made you so different, I feel. And the intensity of the thought process which has gone through you during the times of 20 years of what, how much you're practicing. I think that has made the difference. And yeah, certainly a lot of things to learn from you. And yes. So ahead of this, if anyone wants to have share something with Rebeca or want to ask something, yeah, would be grateful.
Ma'am, I have two things. One is the book you shared, right? So is there any e-version, I mean, electronic version of those books
No, there is
available?
not. Yeah, the second book, there is an electronic version. The first book, there is no electronic version.
Okay. Where can I buy the electronic version, ma'am? So,
The second book is available on the Routledge website. So you have to go to Routledge UK. If you just type it on, it will come into Amazon and Flipkart and all those things.
okay.
It's
And
much
my
available.
second one is I have seen a couple of people who showing interest on bamboo jewelry in Canada. Do we have any online portal where we can order for, for jewel, actually bamboo jewel?
Yeah, we do. I'll just show you.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
Website, Shop Baka. Please
Okay.
send them to the website. So we don't only work with bamboo. So this is our latest Valentine's Day collection where we work with. So we don't work only with bamboo, right? We work with a lot of materials, but bamboo is very much on it. So we have two bamboo collections. One is this one and one is this one. But they can just come and buy it. But we work with a lot of other materials as well. So they can just type bamboo in the search engine and they should be able to find it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems that we are slowly diluting the idea of using wood to bamboo now.
Sorry, sir. Thank you.
And for those people who want to,
Rebecca?
yes, Neelam, tell me.
Yeah, so it was really nice. I think in the beginning I talked about this two speakers today from absolutely different end of the spectrum and reaching on common ground. I think your presentation really proved that, I suppose. So how you have tried to understand the pains of the artisans, and then you have tried to get back to them, and to really take them forward. That's really commendable.
Thanks, Neelam.
Thank you for accepting our invitation today. Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca. We have a question from Alka. Alka, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. I know some of you and some of you might know me. I am Alka Bhargav. I was earlier additional secretary in Ministry of Agriculture, handling the bamboo mission. So Neelamji, I know you, and Rajeev, your designs actually have floored me from day one. I mean, and what you showed today actually defines what minimalistic is. I mean, people won't realize the lot of research and hard work which goes into creating that small coaster. And taking on from what you had shown, Sushant and Praveen Solanki are another brilliant persons. And Rebecca, I mean, what you were talking about, how you are transforming traditional crafts, which have a very small market reach, something mundane like the soup which you showed, and the baskets and the fish catching equipments which we have in the Northeast. I'm based in Guwahati right now, but I would be moving to Delhi very shortly. So that is the transformation which is required in the design sector. Because otherwise, I mean, you know it better than me, that this next generation is not going to get back into the traditional craftsmanship. So if we look at China, I mean, they have a lot of those industrial products, all mass churned. That, okay, India should also look at those high-end mass consumption of bamboo products, but we should not let, I mean, our traditional heritage kind of get lost. So this is exactly where we should pitch in what Rebecca, you've been doing, and number of other also have been doing. We need to look at the contemporary markets and then tell the people, okay, you convert your basketry into this kind of lampshades or other home decor stuff. So now, in fact, like to inform you all, I retired in January. So I'm more free for all this kind of stuff. So I would be most happy to get associated in any way which I can contribute. And Neelamji, your construction work, of course, because it actually pains me a lot when you go into a webinar and people are showing designs from Bali and I don't know from where, that looks such wonderful construction is being done. oh, Baba, it's being done in our own country by our own architects. So that is where we should, I mean, pitch in and advocate and sell ourselves actually. Because see, this engineered wood, not very many people know about it. I have spoken to carpenters, I've spoken to things like Pepper Fry and all, they don't know this product. I mean, I've been like sending videos of Mutta and Timpac and all those people that, okay, get to know this. But it is for them also to start selling themselves. That why should I use engineered wood and not HDMF or something like that? So that is where we should pitch in. And like I've been talking to some people also post-retirement. Lots of people are pained that actually, see, engineered stone, it's going in big volumes to the US now. Things like quartz and nano. So why don't we have engineered wood going out and our own, all this traditional craftsmanship transformed into contemporary market requirements going out? I mean, we don't use it ourselves. The global markets is the next step. So I mean, I'd love to be associated in whatever way we can do. And what we thought, I mean, I think Rebeca also touched upon it, the availability of the feedstock or the working material is kind of slow now. So that could be a win-win situation. See, most of the bamboo in the forest areas is given to the joint forest management committees. So in fact, even though they have the area, but they don't have ready markets. So they will go to the nearest hart or the nearest bazaar and sell it in whatever, at whatever price they get. Similarly, the craftsmen don't get the kind of bamboo which they want because probably they don't own that bamboo. But you have a lot of bamboo outside forest areas, which is much more easier to harvest and fell and all that after the amendment of the Forest Act. So that is where we should chip in. We could have, I mean, aggregated clusters of growers growing exactly what the craftsman wants. And so it could be, I mean, a ready market for the growers and a ready availability in the quantity and quality for the craftsman. So that is where I think we should get that synergy rather than working in boxes that, okay, someone grows, he looks for a market and someone who needs it will go to a market and accesses produce.
If I may just interject at this point, when you're like, what is really disturbing to me is that we talk about the bamboo market like it's a one flat market, it's like when we talk about wood, when we're buying wood, we ask na कि कौन सी लकड़ी है, कहाँ की लकड़ी है, कहाँ की carving है. There are so many layers to it, right? We don't say that a pepper fry is equivalent to a walnut carved thing from Kashmir.
Yeah.
Sad part is that in bamboo, there are so few players, and most of them are linked to the government who anyways flattens everything out into governmentees, So since there are so few players, there is no standard only, and everybody, for example, my furniture, when I sell it, after working in the development sector with multi-governmentals and multilaterals for more than a decade, I decided that अब मेरे को चाहिए नहीं किसी के पैसे, मैं खुद ही business करती हूँ. Like I don't want people's money because their vision is only not there because they see it as flat, right? So I think that until the time when more marketable, commercially viable things come up, there will even be a differentiation between this is an academic view to bamboo, this is a commercial view to bamboo, this is a development sector view to bamboo, Right now, I think that the problem is that everybody views it as a flat playing ground like the bamboo sector. Do we have the metal sector जहाँ पे हमने brass और MS को साथ में डाल दिया है? Do we have the plastic sector? I mean, imagine if one of a designer comes and says कि ये ना टीचर इसको मेटल में करेंगे सर, तो हम पूछेंगे ना कि कौन सा मेटल भाई, ये जो आपका गेज है ब्रास का दिखा रहे हो, MS का दिखा रहे हो, स्टील का दिखा रहे हो, but there are 1500 species of bamboo.
Yes.
And we treat it like it's one material.
No. Yeah. See, that is why, I mean, both sides, government, I mean, out of government now. So government and business, this has to be taken in a business proposition. Otherwise, just simply growing bamboo is not going to work. So in fact, we need to understand industry better. What is your requirement? What species, where, what maturity, I mean, everything. And then the grower does just that, and the industry or the craftsman can buy it at the age, at the species, wherever it is available. Because what was happening till now, I mean, is that bamboo was being bought for a particular industry only. For example, if you talk of agarbatti, so 10%, 12% being used, rest is all classified as waste. So you have heaps and heaps of just leftover materials. It's not adding to price competitiveness, it's just adding to waste. So that is where what we had thought is that if we could have some kind of primary processing close to the plantations, and then it goes to the various industry. So at least we go towards a zero waste kind of a thing. Kuch nahi hota hai, to just briquette it, the last leftovers, and use it as fuel. Because see, we have our blending policies and all that. So let's go about that. I mean, understand everyone, each stakeholder understands each other. So only then it would work, not in boxes that government doing one thing and the industry and the craftsmen doing one thing and planters and growers are growing just anything. See, because we need to define our protection objectives that would be within forest areas and the places where you have high gradient, riverbanks, all that. But we need to have a production side also. Production forestry or outside forest areas where we plant exactly what you want. That very species, everything. Yeah.
Ma'am, with that, Rebecca, if you know what is
can I interject? Can I have a Hemant? Can I speak for a moment?
Yeah, please, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hemant, can
ahead,
I just speak for a moment? Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Alka. Yeah, Alka ma'am. First of all, let me thank you for taking out your time to attend our session. We are really
I have
much
all the time
honored,
now.
and we are really happy. Okay, thank you. There's one thing that I wanted to speak about the building sector and design in the building sector. I somehow disagree with trying to do the Bali kind of style in India because our climate is quite different. And Bali is a very small place and there's a very different kind of a climate out there. In India, that kind of climate is only in a very small pocket of India. And there's one more thing which I really would want to stress here about the building design. People who are in the sector, who are generally more in the media, and people really, who are able to, who have access to money, who can make a lot of videos, they are promoting that kind of architecture, which is not suitable for India. That is one. Another thing is, when we say, they say a grass can save the world. Now, who are we trying to save? When they talk about this, they say we have to make housing for the masses and we have to, take care of all those people, the forest dwellers and things. But when it comes to actually marketing, they would market something like Bali, which is 20,000 rupees a square feet. Even in India, people who are trying to do that kind of a work is 8,000 to 10,000 rupees a square feet. Now, can I ask this August gathering, how many people would like to make houses with bamboo and can make from 8 to 10,000 rupees a square feet? And I have been completely against this from the beginning. And they have this another word, something called bamboo architecture. What is bamboo architecture? Bamboo has to be one of the materials that a person can go for in their material palette. And that's when the mainstreaming will actually happen, which is not happening.
You know, Neelam, bamboo architecture is like Manglik Ladki, you know? It's already
Yes.
kuch badnaam karke dalte usko market mein.
It should not happen. Yeah. So you already put that in a silo. If you put it in a silo, you can't mainstream it.
Yeah, absolutely.
For mainstreaming, you need to be be blending with other materials. I've been trying to do shells with other materials with bamboo. So the bamboo community thinks I am not a bamboo architect, and the designer community thinks that I am not a full-fledged architect because I'm trying to do only bamboo. So this is something which is really needs to be redefined, and understood. And also in the government sector, because I think government is the biggest builder probably in any country for that matter, or any state. And if they are able to understand that fact that it's not fashion that we are, for the matter of which we are trying to use bamboo, it is for the communities and the people who actually should also be using bamboo for themselves. Because if we promote Bali kind of houses, they will sell their bamboos at a higher price. They will again go in with the same cement houses, which are unhygienic. So this is not something which I'm really sorry to be very strongly talking about it, but I feel very strongly about this whole issue. And I have been really pointing this out in every forum that I can, that we should not be talking about bamboo architecture. It's architecture with bamboo.
Yes.
And don't say bamboo buildings, buildings with bamboo. That can be one of the materials that can be there. I'm really sorry to be
No.
interjecting, but I think this is something which I really feel very strongly about.
Yeah, can I
sure.
just clarify, Himanji? I just took Bali as an example. I'm not saying do the Bali structures here, but people are so enamored about Bali that they don't know, they don't understand that our own people are doing works which are more adapted to our conditions. So that is where we should just have that mindset that everything outside is good and we just pick it up and plant it here. That was I was alluding to, just to promote our own people, our own styles. And fusion, of course. Fusion is correct. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions for Rebeca? Yeah. Gadkari sir, if you want to share some insight.
I tell you, this is the third webinar rather. And I tell you, though the number of participants was low, however, the experts we had on the panel today, they are really the experts. I am convinced. What a beautiful work and understanding they have developed. Rebeca ma'am, I listened to you very carefully, and your journey to the bamboo world from beginning. I was along with you in your story, and I'm convinced with the very thoughtful, sequence you have drawn, the very straightforward but very honest ideas you have about the material, the use, the development, the skills, the market, the sellers and buyers, and making it really an economy. This thought process is very provoking, very nice. We really have many things to take from your discussions today. Even Alka ma'am, your contribution today, though it was very spontaneous and you joined us, but then really has given us very many new ideas to work upon. I'm sure that Bamboo Society of India, through its various committees, when we are working upon, this is an additional input, and we would always look forward to you. As Alka ma'am was saying that she would like to do something. Ma'am, first of all, I request you to be our member. Please become the member of BSI. Even Rebeca ma'am, if you are not the member, please become the member of BSI. And we would definitely look forward to you for your really expert advice, guidance in our future endeavors. This process has started. There were only few craftsmen who were dealing into bamboo, and later on the movement rather is now taking a shape of a movement. I believe there are so many people and concerned and involved people now, and now in the days to come, this particular sector, bamboo sector, which we all long to see flourishing, has a very bright future. I can say so. With these words, friends, I am thankful to you all. Ranganath was throughout with us today, and we are very happy to mention here that he is the person who is very disciplined, and in a very coordinated manner he has been carrying out the activities. So Ranganath, thank you very much. Rebeca ma'am, Rajeev sir, Ram, I thank you all. Ram has been our very punctual and regular participant all through. He is there always, and he is on the screen. He doesn't want to go out from the screen. Very nice. And Manjunath ma'am, you are the anchor. You are the person who are always behind us. We will definitely, and we're always inspired by your thoughts. And every time we come to some new facets of your thought process. Very nice. Hemang, you are fantastic. You are a very handsome, good-looking boy on the screen and conducting the program very nicely. Thank you so much all for my participants. Next time, please be with us, and please also inform your friends and kith and kins to attend such programs. Looking forward to your cooperation, help, and guidance, assistance. I remain. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just wanted to thank Alka Madam for joining us. Initially, I couldn't connect, but when you came on video, I could recollect you. We met during the
Welcome, ma'am.
Bamboo
Thank you so
Festival.
much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neelamji and
If you
everyone.
can have we can have the, yeah, can I have everyone's video on so that we can take a screenshot? That will be really nice. Yeah. Please, I would request everyone to come with their this thing.
Immediately everybody emerged.
Rangnath, we can take some screenshots for our this thing. Alka ma'am, please.
Yeah, I'm on.
We
Okay, maybe I can't see the video. My this thing I think is slightly less, I suppose.
Sure,
Rangnath,
sure.
can you just
I will do. I will do.
take the video, take the photos?
Sure. We have some more people. Would appreciate if you can turn on your videos. Done. Thank you. One more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you, Rajeev.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Rebecca,
thank you,
madam.
sir.
Rajeev.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hemang, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rangnath, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ram.
Speak something.
We will connect sometime.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you so much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with this, we close our today's session and looking forward to you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Rajeev. Thank you, Rebecca.